If you have been doing barbell squats for months and your legs still look the same, I need you to hear this. The problem is probably not your effort. It is your lower back. It fatigues and quits long before your quads and glutes get anywhere near real failure. That is just how the body works, and no amount of willpower fixes biomechanics. A leg press and hack squat combo machine removes that bottleneck entirely, letting you load your legs to true failure without your spine being the limiting factor. These 7 are the best you can buy for a home gym right now. Every link is in the description so you can check whichever one fits your situation. Let us get into it. The RitFit BLP01 caught me off guard because machines at this price point usually cut corners somewhere obvious, and I kept looking for the catch. 1,200-pound capacity, real linear bearings on hardened steel guide rods, and a footprint of just 75 inches. Compact enough to share a 2-car garage with a power rack and still walk around. What surprised me most is the carriage feel. No stiction, no catching, no grinding halfway through a rep. It just floats. The footplate is narrower than commercial gym units, but that is actually an advantage. It naturally positions your feet at shoulder width, the sweet spot for quad isolation, especially that outer sweep of the vastus lateralis. Here's a trick nobody talks about though. Position the balls of your feet on the lower edge of that diamond plate, set the safety stops, and you have one of the smoothest calf raise setups you will ever use. The linear bearings eliminate static friction, so even heavy paused reps feel seamless on the way back up. Those base storage pegs pull double duty too. Slide a few 45-pound plates on there and the machine plants itself to the floor without drilling a single bolt into your concrete. If you are over 6'4", full lockout gets a touch snug depending on your proportions, but everyone under that height has zero issues. For the money, this is a phenomenal starting point. So what if you are 6'3", 6'5", and every machine you have tried bottoms out before you hit real depth? The GMWD DDD09 was built for exactly this frustration. They moved the safety limiter from the center to the side of the track, and that one change unlocked true ass to grass depth for lifters up to 6'5". Genuinely rare at this price. The footplate adjusts between 80, 90, and 100 degrees too, which matters more than people think. Tight ankles, heels popping up during squats, set it to 100 degrees and the problem vanishes entirely. Now picture this. You are recovering from a knee issue and your therapist wants you building quad strength without heavy joint impact. You strap resistance bands from the frame down to the sled and the weight lightens at the bottom where your joints are most vulnerable, then gradually loads back up as you press out and gain leverage. That is rehab-level programming right in your garage. A few buyers mentioned rough cosmetic welds and hidden spots. Nothing structural, and once assembled and loaded, you will never notice them. This next one flips the script. The Mikolo 45 degree is not chasing compact design or the smoothest carriage out of the box. It is after one thing: explosive power. The footplate is oversized, noticeably bigger than the RitFit, giving you room for ultra-wide sumo stances all the way down to narrow quad destroyers. The dual band peg system, front and rear, is the real standout. Load a few plates of iron, attach heavy resistance bands, and do fast aggressive reps where tension ramps up exponentially at lockout, forcing your nervous system to fire every fast twitch fiber it has. Powerlifters call this dynamic effort work, and finding it on home equipment honestly feels like a cheat code. Compared to the RitFit, you trade that compact size for a bigger platform and serious band capability, a fair deal depending on your goals. The plate loading horns have tight machining tolerances, so some cast iron plates need a firm push to slide on. Once you figure out which plates in your collection fit smoothly, you forget about it entirely. Okay, the M-Deam. I almost skipped this one because it does not look impressive sitting next to the others. No flashy branding, no aluminum hardware, no laser-cut logos. Then I saw the numbers. 1,400 pounds. Highest capacity in this entire roundup by a wide margin. The alloy steel frame is internally cross-braced, so the sled stays absolutely rigid under loads most people will never reach. When a sled flexes under 800 plus pounds, force shifts asymmetrically, one hip absorbs more load, and that is exactly how injuries happen. The M-Deam does not flex. Footplates are wider than the RitFit too, so true sumo pressing with full adductor engagement works great. Here is the assembly secret that changes everything though. Do not tighten the frame bolts during setup. Leave everything finger loose, load a couple hundred pounds, slide the sled up and down several times. The guide rods settle into perfect parallel naturally. Then torque everything down. Skip this and the bearings feel stiff and frustrating. Follow it and the carriage moves like glass. The community figured this out, and now you know too. The Dripex is the machine I would recommend to anyone who trains completely alone and has felt that flash of panic at the bottom of a heavy rep. Dual-layer safety, 4 adjustable locking positions on the stop rails plus a hard physical limit that prevents the sled from ever reaching you. That psychological freedom to push to genuine failure without a spotter changes how you train entirely. You stop holding back. The padding is noticeably thicker than everything else in this lineup too. Under heavy load, cheap pads compress flat, and you end up pressing shoulders into steel, which wrecks your posture and kills form. The Dripex foam holds its shape set after set. 4 weight storage horns keep plates organized while anchoring the base during explosive reps so the frame stays planted. It ships in 2 boxes that sometimes arrive a day apart, which feels alarming when half a machine is on your driveway. Relax though, the second box always follows within 48 hours. Every machine so far needs decent floor space. The Mikolo 30-degree compact throws that assumption straight out. By going from 45 to 30 degrees on the track, the whole machine gets dramatically shorter. If your gym lives in a 10x10 spare bedroom rather than a garage, this might genuinely be the only combo machine that physically fits. Here is what caught me off guard though. The steeper angle makes the workout harder on your quads, not easier. Your knees travel further forward, creating a deep stretch that lights up the vastus medialis, that teardrop muscle most people struggle to develop no matter how many squats they do. Meanwhile, spinal compression drops significantly compared to a 45-degree press. Back problems and quad development handled at the same time. The shoulder pads pop off entirely for press mode, a small touch that makes a real difference if you have broad shoulders and fixed pads would otherwise dig into your neck. You load less total plate weight than on a 45-degree, but that is just the physics of the angle, and it naturally pushes you toward controlled reps with longer tension, which is arguably better for growth anyway. And finally, the Jellins L11. This is the family machine. 50 by 70 mm square steel in a triangular frame that drives energy straight into the floor instead of rocking sideways when someone racks weight hard after a brutal set. 3 safety lock heights let a 5'1" user and a 6'4" user share it with quick adjustments, no tools needed. But the feature that genuinely sold me is something you would never think to look for on a spec sheet: thick rubber acoustic dampening pads on the base. That deafening crash when plates slam steel at the end of a set, in a detached garage, who cares? In a basement, under bedrooms, or next to a shared wall, that noise is a deal breaker. The Jellins absorbs that impact almost completely. Train at 5 a.m. without waking anyone. I honestly think this feature saves relationships. A few buyers noted minor paint chips on arrival, a small cosmetic trade-off for the structural integrity underneath. Quick breakdown based on what matters to you. Tight on space, Mikolo 30-degree fits where nothing else can. Tall or short, the GMWD DDD09 handles the widest height range out there. Maximum weight above all, MDM at 1,400 pounds stands alone. Solo training and you need real safety, the Dripex lets you push to failure without fear. Explosive band work, the Makullo 45 is purpose-built for it. Multi-person household, Jellins handles different body types and keeps things quiet. And for the best overall value, the RitFit delivers commercial-level performance way above its price. All the links are in the description. Drop a comment with your pick, and if this saved you some research, hit subscribe for more.